My dear students, a very warm welcome to you all. In this session, we will talk about the talus. Talus in Latin means the ankle bone. Let me first show you the outline of the talus. First in dorsal view. This is the outline of the talus in the dorsal view. Talus, dorsal view. Next I am showing you the outline of the talus in the plantar view. Part of the talus is visible in the plantar view. Talus in plantar view. Plantar view. The talus is the second largest bone of the foot. Second largest bone. The largest rank holder is the calcaneus. It is followed in the second by the talus. Talus, needless to say, it is a tarsal bone. It is one of the tarsal bones, and it forms a connecting link between the bones of the foot and the bones of the leg. So talus is a connecting link between the bones of the foot, that is the tibia and fibula, and between the bones of the leg by forming the ankle joint. Okay, next I will show you the view of the talus from the lateral and the medial aspect. First, we will see the talus from the medial aspect. This is the medial view of the talus. Medial view, followed by the lateral view of the talus. Now, if we draw the outline of the calcaneus in both the medial and lateral view along with the outline of talus, it will go like this. So the outline of the calcaneus in the medial view will be like this. C, calcaneus, T for talus. Now on the lateral view, the outline of the calcaneus will be like this. Calcaneus, talus. It is evident from these side views that talus is sitting on top of the anterior two-thirds of the calcaneus. Talus is sitting on top of the anterior two-thirds of the calcaneus. So if it is anterior two-thirds of the calcaneus, then talus is sitting on top of the anterior two-thirds of the calcaneus. Talus is situated on top of calcaneus, on top of the anterior two-thirds of the calcaneus. Interestingly, talus is the only bone of the foot which is devoid of any muscular attachment, and that makes our studying much easier. We don't have to remember any muscle attachment, so that's a big relief. So it is devoid of muscle attachment. Okay, next we will see the joints which are formed by the talus. There are three joints which are formed by the talus. Let's see. talus forms three joint. It participates in the formation of three joint. The first one is the ankle joint. Ankle joint. The ankle joint, which has been shown in the marked picture, arrow marked picture, it is formed between the bones of the leg and bones of the foot. The bones of the leg, namely lower end of the fibula F and the lower end of the tibia T. They form this ankle joint with the upper surface of the body of talus. So here goes the upper surface of the body of talus. So in between these three bones, the ankle joint is formed. Ankle joint is also known as talocrural joint. Okay. So once again, ankle joint is formed between the lower end of the tibia T, lower end of the fibula F, and the upper part of the body of talus. It is also known as talocrural joint. Talocrural joint. So this is the first joint. Next, it also forms two more joints apart from the ankle joint. One is the talocalcaneonavicular joint, one is the subtalar joint. In order to understand these joints, we have to see the diagram from the side. From the side view, we can see that the talocalcaneonavicular joint, which is marked by the blue in this diagram, or rather I mark it with the red. Talocalcaneonavicular joint, it is formed between the navicular, between the calcaneals, between the talus. And there is another joint that is marked by blue posterior to it, that takes place between the calcaneus and undersurface of the talus, which is called the subtalar joint. Compare this picture with this one. Let me zoom in the picture. You can see that two different colors have been used. The red color marks the talocalcaneonavicular joint in between the talus, navicular, and the calcaneus. The red is the talocalcaneonavicular. Whether the blue one marks the subtalar joint between the calcaneus and the talus. Subtalar. Joint. So all together we get the ankle joint 1, talocalcaneonavicular joint 2, and the subtalar joint 3. 3 joints we get, that is formed by the talus. Now in order to get a better understanding of the talocalcaneonavicular and subtalar joint, I am showing you another picture after clearing the field of vision. Look at this diagram. Here the talus have been made transparent, and the blue colored joint between the undersurface of the body of the talus and upper surface of calcaneus, that is the subtalar joint. Whereas the joint outlined by the red, this joint includes the navicular, includes the talus, includes the calcaneus, and it is the marking of the talocalcaneonavicular joint. Talocalcaneonavicular navicular joint. So there are three joints which are formed by the talus. Okay. Now we will discuss about the features and important attachments of the talus. The talus presents a head, neck and a body. If we see from the dorsal aspect, we can see the head, the most forward portion, followed by a constriction, that is the neck, and body, which is the largest segment, following the neck. So it has got three parts: head, neck and body. Three parts. First we will talk about the head. Now if we clear the picture, we will see that head is directed forward. Head is directed forward, medially and slightly downward. So if we draw a long axis to the head and neck, the long axis will be like this. So the long axis, if it is extended, you can see that the long axis kind of going forward and medially. That's why we are telling that head is directed forward and medially, and it is also directed downward, and that downward bit can be understood if we see the diagram from the side. So let us see the diagram from the side. This is the head of the talus over here. Let me show you. Head of the talus, in isolation, head of the talus. So this head is directed a bit downward as well, downward directed. So forward, medially and downward, these are the three terms. These are used for the direction of the head. Now this head presents an anterior surface. This is the anterior surface of the head. Anterior surface of the head, this one, anterior surface of head. It presents a convex articular surface which articulates with the concavity of navicular bone. So in front of the head there is the navicular bone. So with the concavity of the navicular, head is being fitted. So anterior surface of the head, anterior surface of the head, it fits with the concavity of navicular. Concavity of navicular. Now inferior surface of the head presents three articular facets. Now how do we study the inferior surface? Look at this picture. Here we have made the talus transparent, and through the transparent talus we can see the under surface of the head, and I have marked three dotted articular facets in three different colors. The same three dotted articular facets have been also made out in this diagram as well. 1, 2, 3. Three dotted articular facets on the under surface of the head. So inferior surface of the head, inferior surface of the head presents three articular facets. First one, this one in blue, this is the posterior facet. Posterior facet. The posterior facet is the largest of the three, and it articulates with the middle facet of calcaneus. So this is the posterior facet, this guy in blue, and it articulates with the middle facet of calcaneus. Now you have to remember that calcaneus on its superior surface presents three articular facets: anterior, middle and posterior. So these facets will fit with the corresponding facets on the talus Now if you take a close look, then it will be clear that the middle facet of the upper surface of the calcaneus, it fits perfectly with the posterior facet on the inferior surface of the head of talus. So posterior facet in the inferior surface of head of talus, it fits with the middle facet on the superior surface of calcaneus. Middle facet on the superior surface of calcaneus. Similarly, there is a middle facet marked in purple. This one, middle facet, middle facet, middle. This middle facet, it articulates with the spring ligament. Below a ligamentous outline you can see in white colors. These are the ligamentous outlines in gray. This is a gray band. So this middle facet sits on this gray band of fibers underneath it. This gray band of fibers represent the spring ligament which extend underneath the head and the neck of the talus. So middle facet is for the spring ligament. It articulates with the spring ligament. So middle facet and the inferior surface of the head articulates with the spring ligament, and there is one last facet that is left to discuss, that is this one in red, that is the anterolateral facet. Anterolateral facet, it articulates with the anterior facet on the superior surface of calcaneus. Okay, so anterolateral facet on the undersurface of the head of the talus, it articulates with the anterior facet of the superior surface of calcaneus. Okay, so I have shown you how the facets on the undersurface or inferior surface of head, these facets are all present on the inferior surface of head. They are articulating with their corresponding facet. One is articulating, two are articulating with the corresponding facets over the calcaneus, and one is articulating with the spring ligament. Okay, right. So that is about the head, anterior surface, inferior surface. So I think you have understood the concept of head and the articular facets on both its anterior surface and inferior surface. Now we talk about the neck. Now we talk about the neck of the talus after clearing the diagram. So what about the neck of the talus? The neck is a constriction between the head and the body. So where is the neck? Neck is between head and the body. This is the neck, N. Neck of the talus. Neck. The neck projects forward and medially from the body. So if we draw a long axis through the body and through the neck, the long axis of the body goes like this, and long axis of the neck and head goes like this. Okay, so there is an angle between the long axis of the head and neck and long axis of the body, and that is called the neck body angle of the talus. Neck body angle of the talus. So once again, long axis through the head and neck of the talus, it makes an angle with the long axis of the body of the talus. That is called the neck body angle. Neck body angle. It is approximate 150 degree. It measures approximate 150 degree. Now the neck presents a dorsal surface, lateral surface, under surface and medial surface. We will talk about the important feature on the dorsal surface, lateral surface and plantar surface. Let's see. First of all, regarding the dorsal surface of the neck. The dorsal surface of the neck provides attachment to dorsal talonavicular ligament. Dorsal talonavicular, from talus to navicular. So this is the dorsal talonavicular, from the dorsal surface of the neck to the navicular. On the side view, this is the dorsal talonavicular ligament. Dorsal talonavicular. Dorsal talonavicular. Same. Dorsal talonavicular. Lateral surface of the neck provides attachment to anterior talofibular ligament. Lateral surface. Now if we see the lateral view of the foot, this is the lateral view. So lateral surface of the neck presents attachment to anterior talofibular. This is the lower end of the fibula, which is expanded to form lateral malleolus. From the anterior end of the lateral malleolus to the neck of the talus, there is a ligament that is called the anterior talofibular ligament. This is F for fibula. Anterior talofibular ligament. Anterior talofibular ligament. So that is attached to the lateral surface. Okay. So once again, clearing the diagram and zooming in. This is the dorsal talonavicular ligament, and this is the anterior talofibular ligament. Both are attached to the neck of the talus. One is on the dorsal aspect, one is on the lateral surface. Now we will discuss about the plantar surface of the neck. Let me show you the plantar surface of the neck. Here you get to see the plantar surface of the neck in the right sided picture. The plantar surface of the neck presents a narrow deep groove. It is called sulcus talli. Where is the narrow deep groove? Let me show you. The plantar surface of the neck presents a narrow deep groove. It is called sulcus talli. Sulcus talli. Now this sulcus talli, it forms sinus tarsi with the corresponding groove of calcaneus. So on the upper surface of the calcaneus, there is a corresponding groove that joins with the sulcus talli to form a tunnel, which is called sinus tarsi. So sulcus talli forms sinus tarsi with the corresponding groove on the upper surface of the calcaneus. Sulcus talli and the sinus tarsi. So let me show you the sulcus talli, location of the sulcus talli on the under surface of the neck. It is kind of like this groove. Similarly, calcaneus on its superior surface presents a grooved appearance. This is like this. Let me show you another color. So together these two groups, they lock together to form a tunnel. So under surface of the neck of the talus and upper surface of the calcaneus, both of them presents to reciprocally grouped surface, and these groups together join to form a tunnel. This is called the sinus tarsi. Sinus tarsi. Okay. Now we will discuss about the body of the talus. Let's clear the diagram. The body of the talus, it is cuboidal in shape and it presents 5 surfaces. Superior surface, so superior surface is this one, which we are seeing from the dorsal aspect like this, superior aspect, superior surface. Then inferior surface will be in below inferior surface that we cannot see in this view. When we turn over the talus, we will see the inferior surface. Medial and lateral surface. What will be the medial and what will be the lateral surface? This is the lateral surface. Lateral surface. And from this view, this is the medial surface. Medial surface. Okay. And last but not the least, the posterior surface. The posterior surface will be this one from the dorsal view, posterior surface. So only one surface cannot be seen in the dorsal view, that is the inferior surface. The rest of the 4 surfaces can be seen partly or wholly from the dorsal view. So there are altogether 5 surfaces: superior, inferior, lateral, medial and posterior surface of the body of the talus. Let's see another picture and clear the concept. Let's see the talus from the side view. So first of all, we are showing you the superior surface. This is obviously the superior surface of the body of the talus. On both sides, from the medial side, you can see the comma shaped medial surface. From the lateral aspect, this is the triangular articular lateral surface. M from medial, L for lateral. What is the posterior surface? Posterior surface will be seen from behind. This is the posterior surface. From this end, it will be seen. Posterior surface, this portion. Posterior surface. Superior surface. Now where is the inferior surface then? Obviously inferior surface will be from the below. This will form the inferior surface of the body of the talus. Inferior surface of the body of the talus. Inferior surface of the body of the talus. Now we discuss one by one about the surface. One by one about the surface. First of all, about the superior surface. Now, if we see this diagram, we see the superior surface of the body of the talus. This is the superior surface of the body of the talus. Superior surface. This is the medial surface of the body of the talus. This is the lateral surface of the body of the talus in this view. So the superior surface, it articulates with the inferior articular surface of the distal end of the tibia. So superior surface is articulates with the inferior articular surface of the distal end of the tibia. Okay, so superior surface articulates with the distal articular surface of tibia. Similarly, the medial and lateral surface. The medial surface, if we see the medial surface, this one, it articulates with the articular surface of medial malleolus. Which one is medial malleolus? Let me show you. The medial malleolus is kind of a triangular projection from the lower end of tibia. This is called medial malleolus. So medial malleolus will be articulating with the medial surface. So medial surface will be articulating with the medial malleolus. Okay. Similarly, the lateral surface. What about the lateral surface? The lateral surface, it articulates with the articular surface of lateral malleolus, which is the lower end of fibula. So lateral surface articulates with the lateral malleolus. So superior surface with the distal end of tibia, medial surface with the medial malleolus, and lateral surface with the articular surface of lateral malleolus. This way it forms the ankle joint. This way it forms the ankle joint. So ankle joint formation is participated by superior surface, medial surface, and the lateral surface of the body of the talus. The rest two surfaces are the inferior surface and posterior surface. Let me discuss about it. First of all, the inferior surface. Now from this point of view, once again, this is the lateral surface. You can understand this lateral surface articulates with the lateral malleolus that I have already shown you, lateral malleolus of fibula. So you can draw the fibula like this. This is the lateral malleolus of fibula, perfectly fitting with it. Similarly, onto the medial side, this comma shaped medial surface, it articulates with the medial malleolus of the tibia. This is fibula, lateral malleolus, tibia, medial malleolus. Okay. So medial and lateral surface we have seen along with the superior surface. So what is the superior surface? This is the superior surface. This one is the superior surface. Medial surface is this one, medial surface. This is the lateral surface. Now what about the inferior surface? In order to see the inferior surface, we have to make the talus transparent, and the inferior surface of the talus, it presents a large facet, large articular oval facet. Here is the large articular oval facet on the inferior surface. Large articular oval facet on the inferior surface that articulates with the posterior facet of superior surface of calcaneus. So inferior surface, it presents a large facet which articulates with the posterior facet of calcaneus medially. Okay. Then only the posterior surface is left to discuss. What about the posterior surface? This portion is the posterior surface. First we clear the diagrams. Posterior surface is this portion, is the posterior surface. The posterior surface is narrow and it projects backward as the posterior process of talus, and it is grooved by a narrow groove. There is a groove. This groove is for the tendon of flexor hallucis longus, and on two sides of the groove there are two tubercles that project on the two sides. One is the medial tubercle, one is the lateral tubercle. So two tubercles, medial and lateral. In between them there is a groove, and that groove is for the tendon of flexor hallucis longus. So there is a medial tubercle and lateral tubercle. There is the lateral tubercle and medial tubercle, and in between you can see a groove. You can understand a groove. That groove is for flexor hallucis longus. That is about the posterior surface of the talus. Okay, posterior surface of the talus, which is the second largest bone of the foot. Sometimes there is a fracture of the neck of the talus, which occurs due to forceful dorsiflexion of the foot. Now, in the fractured neck of the talus, the arteries supplying the talus, they enter through the front part of the neck and pass backward. So these arteries are damaged in the fractured neck of the talus and cause delayed union or necrosis of the posterior segment. So just read about the fractured neck of the talus. You don't have to read in details, just keep in mind what happens as a result of such a fractured neck, because the arteries that supply the neck pass from front to back, so any damage will result in posterior segment damage. So the arteries that enter, they kind of go backward through the neck. So when there is impairment, when there is damage of the arteries in the fractured neck of the talus, that will cause delayed union or necrosis of the posterior segment, because the arteries pass through the front part of the neck and pass backward. Okay. So thank you everyone. That is all about the talus. Read through it. If you have any doubt, please post your queries. I will try my best to answer. Thank you all.